How you practice and how you train is critical to using your time efficiently and getting the most out of your practice. In this video, we'll review the idea of deliberate practice, how you can use that to train more efficiently, more effectively, and get the most out of the work you do. Hello, I'm Dr. Laby. I'm an ophthalmologist with 30 years experience working in professional and elite sports. I'm bringing to you what I've been working with them for the past 30 years to provide them the best chance to perform effectively, efficiently, and win in their game. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into how you train efficiently and how you maximize the effort you put into your training to perform the most and the best in your sports. There are many sources from which we can learn about deliberate practice, but probably one of the clearest and most concise sources are the work written by James Clear. James Clear has written several books. One of the books he's probably most known for is the book Atomic Habits. This book is a New York Times bestseller and has sold over 5 million copies and has been translated into 50 different languages. There's an Amazon link below if you'd like an easy way to get the book, but it's a great read. The book describes what we can do to become 1% better each day in our lives. The basic idea is to replace bad habits with good habits. Good habits that will make your work and your experience much more effective and beneficial. Basically, by adopting the good habits, we can become much more efficient and much more productive in everything we do, including training in general and sports vision training in particular. James has also published a beginner's guide to deliberate practice, which is exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. As I said in an earlier video, there's practice and then there's practice. Small practice letters and big letters practice. What's the difference? Well, regular practice is simply repeating the same thing over and over and over again, hoping to get better at it. Kind of like batting practice, where you just go and swing each time repetitively at the ball. In fact, this repeated, whether it's batting practice or repeated your task in sports, may even be hurtful. In fact, if you're doing it wrong or not doing it correctly, that can actually train you to perform the wrong way. Deliberate practice, though, is very different. Deliberate practice has a purpose and is very systematic. Deliberate practice is very focused. It has a specific goal, a specific task, and a specific series of steps to gain that goal and to achieve the task. In fact, it's pretty hard to keep focused attention. We as humans like to get into a repetitive rut and keep doing the same thing without having to be constantly stimulated to do something different. But it's that focused attention on the task which has become critical here, as we'll see. To illustrate this, let's talk about basketball, for example. Let's give you two different scenarios. And I'm going to be interested to know what you think, which scenario is going to be more effective. Player A is going to make 200 shots of free throws. And he's going to have a friend or an assistant nearby who's going to get the ball, shoot it back to him, give it back to him for his next shot. But that person is going to be recording how he did, how the shot went, whether it went in or not, whether it was successful or not. That's going to be player A. Player B, on the other hand, is going to make the same shots. So he'll do 50 shots, let's say. He's going to get his own rebounds. He's going to dribble the ball back to the line, and he's going to set up and shoot again. And he'll do that repetitively. Well, as we talked about before, the key to deliberate practice is feedback. And as we noticed in player A, the accomplice, the friend, was giving feedback whether the shot went in or what was not being done properly. So player A is going to be the more effective player. He's going to be getting the feedback, be able to adjust his shot in order to make the basket every time, where player B is simply going to be repeating the same thing over and over again without any feedback, any instruction, any adjustments in order to perform better. Player A is the way we want to go. As we said, the key to deliberate practice is that feedback. And feedback actually has two different components. There's the measurement component and the coaching component. The measurement component talks about just pure numbers. How successful? Did you get 5 out of 10 free throws? Did you get 9 out of 10 free throws? It's the metrics. It's the idea in our minds that we can see how we're doing. We can measure our progress from one step to the next. That's an important part of deliberate practice. The other part is coaching. Coaching becomes critical as well. Because it's not just a matter of how many shots you made in, but what can you do to improve your shot the next time to have a higher success rate. That constant feedback of how well you're doing and what you can do to do better are the two key components to this feedback and to this deliberate practice idea. In fact, you can see in the video that we're going to show you in a moment of my work with Trent Alexander Arnold from the Liverpool Football Club recently. Well, we had a 44% improvement. This is pro athlete in hitting a baseball or being an archer, any kind of sport that requires really critical vision. That's what you got. We saw you had incredible reaction times.
This time it was just like automatic.
We saw that you were able to process and execute a play very, very well.
Most of it just comes from confidence and knowing that I've got the ability to see it and execute it.
Multiple object tracking and visual concentration. And to be honest with you, when I left you 6 weeks ago, that was my biggest concern. Frankly, your score of 0.39, when I'm looking for a score above 1, was a little bit concerning. It was not at the level at all that I would hope for. You skyrocketed on this test. Your score went from 0.39 to 1.33, 240% increase. That's, I think, really good. Here we see a perfect example of deliberate practice. I set Trent up, and we did this remotely. It wasn't even done in person. It was done across the Atlantic Ocean. But we gave the two key components of deliberate practice. We gave measurement, where as we went through the training drills, we gave him scores of how he did. We looked at his position on the ranking table of how he was against his competitors. And as he moved up, he could see those numbers changing. And we gave him coaching. What could he do a little bit differently to score better and move up that table faster? As you can see from the video, he did pretty well and got to the top of the table. Well, there you have it. Deliberate practice doesn't guarantee you're going to win your sport, doesn't guarantee you're going to be the best. But what it does guarantee is that the time you invest and the time you spend practicing your sport, you'll have the best chance to improve, you'll get the most you can out of the time you spend, and you'll have the best chance for overall success. Until next time, good luck and good practice.